Welcome to Central Georgia Focus. I'm your host, Katelyn Heck. There's a new movie in theaters now called Sounds of Hope, the Story of Possum Trot. It is an amazing, true story of how 22 families in one East Texas community pulled together to take 77 children out of the state's hands and into loving homes. The woods of East Texas. In total, 76 kids were adopted from 1998 through 2000. Another was adopted in 2011. And our guests today to talk about the impact of this movie and the need for foster care families here in Central Georgia are Alicia Moffitt, a foster parent, and Carolyn Cheatham, owner of Safe Haven Around the Clock Youth Services and former foster parent. So before we talk about the impact of this very powerful movie, I want to learn a little bit about each of you and your journeys to becoming foster parents. So let's start with you, Alicia.
Okay. So I got interested in fostering because my mother was a foster parent, and I helped with the children that my mom took in, and once I was old enough, I decided that this was also my mission to be a positive impact on as many kids as possible. So.
Now, how long have you been a foster parent? How many kids' lives have you been involved in?
Now I want to say I probably at least about 10 to 12 in the last over the 5-year period.
Wow, that's incredible. Now, you used to be a foster parent before opening Safe Haven. Yes. Talk about that transition for you and why you thought that was so important.
I would say it was important for me because growing up with my siblings and my cousins and all, we grew up in a home it was like 1-2 bedroom home or what have you, and I wanted to foster because I wanted to bring an impact on kids that, that was less fortunate than I was or walked the same way that I did when I was younger, went without, at times, or what have you.
Now, you both have seen a lot of children come through foster care, whether it be in your own homes or through Safe Haven. Talk about the impact you see in these kids' lives when they have a foster family and someone looking out for them and taking care of them.
When they come into care, they're scared, they're nervous, and they want to be in a placement where they're loved and provided for. So you come in and you meet all these challenges, and they are, they stand off until they see and feel that you're a good person and you're here to love them and to take care of them. So it's a process, but you see change over time once they enter into your home.
And I know a couple people who have fostered, and they say, it almost changes you just as much as it changes the lives of these kids. What impact did it have on you?
It had a big impact on me. For me to have, when I was fostering, to have the kids to come into my home, it not only changed the kids and brought about compassion, it brought compassion to me as well, because I was able to bring someone in my home to offer love where they felt like they wasn't getting the love. So it brought love to me, because at one point in my life, I felt like that I wasn't getting the love that I should have got. And bringing the kids into the home, they felt somewhat the way that I felt growing up, and it was powerful for me to bring a change in their life, and the foster kids that I had fostered, they're still in my life today. They're still my kids. I'm still mom.
Oh, that's incredible. Such an incredible journey for them and for you too. And there's an opportunity and a need for more people to have that life-changing event and to be foster parents. Talk about the need for foster families here in our area.
There's so many. I mean, there can never be enough homes because unfortunately we have so many kids coming into the foster care system who we need good, safe placements. So if you got the time, the space, and the heart to do it, it's welcome. We need so many homes.
Yes, and I would challenge everyone that is out in the community, especially in the Middle and Macon, Georgia area, is because it's so many kids that need homes, need a loving home, need a safe haven, where they don't have to be bouncing from place to place. They can have somewhere where they can call home and feel the love.
And you mentioned to me before, I mean, it is a great need, hundreds in
Yes.
just our area.
Yes, it is.
It's coming into care daily.
Daily. We get over 30 to 40 what we call UAs, they're universal applications that we have on the children that come into care, and we get those, but we don't have enough foster parents to house the kids, to give them a home. So, you know, it's very much needed here.
And when they come to Safe Haven, what are some of the services that you offer to these kids who need families?
They're placed in a home like mine where we meet all their needs, and once they come in, you just everything they need. First thing they do is we take them for their medical checkups, their dental checkups, and they routine as anyone else would get. They get all these services. They offer mental health counseling for the kids and for the families. Anything that's needed to provide for that child to grow, they offer that service for them.
I know you grew up with your mom, you said, being a foster. Was there anything that you think is a misconception about fostering that people should understand?
I think most of all, people just like, are you able to love, someone that's not a member of your family? And absolutely. So once you meet them and whatnot, it's not, you don't see that they're not biologically related. It's an instant connect if, you're fostering for the love of the child or the love of people. So it's an instant connect when they come into you.
Yeah, and we don't just, when we get what I was saying, the universal applications on the youth coming into the home, we don't just place them children in your home. We place those children in a home that is a match with you. We put them in a home with matches. We match that child to the home.
Okay, so it isn't just a random, there is a specific process you go through.
Yes.
Okay, now I want to talk a little bit about the movie, Sounds of Hope, the story of Possum Trot. It's a true story. It's an incredible story of people coming together to meet a need. So for those who haven't seen it, what do you think is one of the most important messages in that movie?
For me, it was the never giving up through all the challenges they faced or whatever, and to be able to forgive the kids and of the mistakes they made and love them through that process, and tell, even though you made a mistake or whatever, we still love you, and nothing you can do will make us stop loving you. We're going to continue to be here even through, I get that a lot where children will do things trying to prove to you weren't going to keep me, you weren't going to do it, so they'll do things to try to, when you say, hey, I'm here, I'm not going anywhere, you're not going anywhere, we're together for life. So that movie showed that, and I was like, that's incredible. I knew watching the movie that it had to come from a real foster parent, because the things that the movie showed was like just real life for me.
Well, what do you think was the most relatable thing to you as a foster parent that came out of that movie? I've had my car stolen, and kids, and just pretty much the whole movie. I had a scene right now. There's a scene in it that I'm currently experiencing. I was like, wow, this is me and someone that I'm currently experiencing right now. So, but it just shined real life over, and I was really impressed with it. I was like, wow, this is to the point. Hopefully it will inspire a lot of people to do what you all do and help children like the way you do.
Yeah.
And of course, part of it was filmed in Macon's Lake Arrowhead community, which is pretty cool as well. Now, after we go to break, we're going to continue talking about foster care here in Central Georgia and the need for foster families. But we want to leave you with some scenes from the movie Sounds of Hope, the story of Possum Trot, inspired again by the true story of Bishop and First Lady Donna Martin and their tiny Bennett Chapel Church in the town of Possum Trot in the woods of East Texas.
Then the kids started coming with stories that just tore at your insides.
Welcome back to Central Georgia Focus. Today we're talking about the need for foster parents and the fight to help kids stuck in bad situations. And many times older children have a harder time getting selected by parents. So we're here to talk about some of those challenges that these kids face, especially the older children. Can you speak to that?
Okay, so a lot of the challenges is with the older kids, they don't find it where someone wants to take them into their home because they're older, and it's hard for them to and for us to get placement for those kids, you know, as an agency because of their age.
Yeah, they're moved around so much, and so they come in expecting to be moved again, so it's hard to get them to trust that this could be my permanent placement. So we get a lot of disruptions from them, and you know, just acting out because of the trauma and stuff that they've been through. So it's harder to place them because they are so used to being independent, and when you put them in a home where there's structure and rules, and a lot of times to them the structure feels like restriction or being punished or whatever, instead of them understanding that we're trying to teach them some life skills and stuff where they haven't had to do that, so because they've been raising themselves or doing things that children shouldn't have had to do. So once you put in a home where you're being loved and provided for, and you're being taught to the proper way to do things or whatever, it seems like to them it feels like, or they're making me clean my room, or they're making me do chores or stuff like that, and you know, really, you know, that's part of growing up. These are the things that you would do if you were, you know, properly at home with your family. So we try to provide that, and a lot of kids are resistant to that until they realize, okay, you know, this is how this should have been, and after a while they adapt to it, and then they get to where now it's flowing as a normal functioning family would. So
yes. It just takes some challenges
to get them there. Yeah, so it's a lot of resistance, but after a while, once you're consistent with that child and you're there every day and you're loving them through their mistake, even they can have a bad day one day and you wake up the next morning like, you know, that was yesterday. Right. We're at a new day, so let's, you know, we're not worried about that. Let's continue to move on. And once they see that, wow, I made a mistake and she's still loving me, this is incredible, I didn't have that. So you do begin to see change after a while.
You can tell you both have a very special heart for this.
Yeah. Yes.
What does it take to be a foster parent and to do those things and to understand how to deal with these kids and how to reach them?
I would say just an open mind and an open heart, and willing to open up your home to let the children come in and just to give them love. You know, it's a process that they have to go through, where they do a background check, they do a matching system. Once you get approved to become a foster parent, they have to go through some training to be a foster parent as well. 6-week impact training that they will have to go through.
What are some of those trainings about? What does it involve?
First aid. We learn about ways to deal with the kids when if they're having a bad day, or some kids come in aggressive. It shows us how to handle those situations, and it teaches us to make sure when you're providing their needs, when you first come into care, they break down the rules of what you have to do once you take in a kid, because as soon as they come in 24 hours, you have to get them a medical visit check, you have to set a dental up, and they go through that whole process of what's expected and all the paperwork that we have to fill out as foster parents, because we have to keep a count of the temperature checks in the house. We have to make sure your fire extinguishers, fire detectors are up, and just the house, all the safety stuff that's in place. Teaches us how to administer medication if the child comes in and how to take meds. So we have med sheets to keep account of that and stuff like that. So.
Oh, that's good. So that way, when that child does come into your home, you're not flying blindly. You feel prepared for whatever challenge comes your way.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
Now, if someone is watching this and thinking, I'm kind of on the edge about being a foster parent, I don't know if I have what it takes, what advice would you give them?
If you are thinking about it and you have it and you're considering it, you probably have what it takes, because it just takes that if you're thinking about it, if there's enough love in your heart that you feel like you can share it with another individual, then you have what it takes. And if you have the space in your home and the time to, you have what it takes. It's as simple as that. I am a just ordinary person. I have a job I go to every day. I have room and space in my home and a heart to want to help. And that's basically, if you want to help and you love kids and you got that time, then you got what it takes.
And of course, it's going to come with challenges. Any change in your home, any change in your routine is going to come with challenges. But you know, from what it sounds like for you, it's worth it.
It's worth it. It's definitely worth it. Yes. I mean, I'm not, saying that every day is perfect, but every day is not bad. And once you get to, like right now, when I come home, I have a bunch of kids that are craving my attention. As soon as I hit the door, they're all over me. And even the ones who didn't want to be there in the beginning, now I'm like, they was like, I don't want to be here. But now it's like, oh, you are everything. So once you see that and that change in them, it's amazing. And so.
For anyone who does want to become a foster parent, you mentioned the training. What are other steps that they would need to go through?
They would have to get a physical done. Everyone in their home that's 18 and older, they would have to have a background check done as well. And that's pretty much it, with the training and getting all the safety reviews done. Do the background check.
The background, drug screen, anything that you would do, like you basically applying for a job. You have to do all that background check.
Now, sometimes that fostering, you develop a relationship with these kids and it turns into maybe a little something more, like an adoption process, something you know very well. Tell a little bit about that process of what it's been like for you.
I really can't put it into words. It's amazing. I've had a relationship with the kids that I'm currently adopting. I have a sibling set of 3 that our adoption is almost final. We're in the last process. We're just waiting on the paperwork to be filed with the courts, and we're done. We did name change, stuff like that, and the kids are so excited and happy to be a permanent part. They were my family when they walked in the door, but just for them to know that, hey, I now have your last name. I am really your child. It's amazing for them. They remind me every day. They was like, I'm your kid, right? This is like for forever. And my son, my grandfather first name is James, so his is also, so he's just like ecstatic because he's like, I'm the head of the family, like I carried his name, like, so it was like a perfect match.
And what was that conversation like, talking with the kids about permanently bringing them into your home? I had to imagine that's just a fantastic feeling and conversation.
Especially when it started from them, because I fostered their older sister years before, and they would spend the weekends at my home coming and visit with her, and it's how I had the relationship with them. So they would always say, I'm gonna be with you, I'm coming to stay with you. And once they got there, they was just like, when is this gonna happen? And we have state, they come by, we do pop-ups from the state to come in to check on the kids, to check on the home. And I know my smallest told her that was her dream that she wanted, and I remember her saying, I hope you get it. And then she told me that's what she told her, that she wanted to stay with me forever. So, and to hear that and know that that's how they feel, it's amazing.
That doesn't warm your heart. I don't know how well. We're going to take a quick commercial break. We're going to talk a little bit more about fostering here in Central Georgia when we come back. Welcome back. Today we're talking about foster care needs in Central Georgia and the movie Sounds of Hope, the story of Possum Trot. Parts of it filmed in Macon and with a lot of extras from Macon as well. So I want to dive a little bit more into the movie. I heard there was a pretty special ticket giveaway organized by Lake Arrowhead. Talk a little bit about that.
Yes, I was surprised. I got a call from my mom, childhood friend, which is the first lady of her church, and told that she lives in the Lake Arrowhead, and she was telling me about it. She was like, and I told them about you, that I was a foster parent and how loving I was, and she thought that I would be well deserving of the ticket. So they stopped by on the 4th of July and brought me flowers and my mom and gave us tickets to the show, which I thought that was really amazing and very nice of them. And I was glad they did because I really enjoyed going to see the movie.
Just a small token of appreciation for the work that you've been doing.
Yes.
And we don't have a lot of time left, but I do want to talk a little more to you about the need for fostering here in our area and why it's so important to be a foster parent.
Well, it's so important because we need so many foster parents to come in to give the children a loving home, because it's not that many foster parents that's out here. So I encourage everyone that thought about it, thinking about it, to come in and just give us the support. And we all family oriented when it comes to Safe Haven. We're family oriented and you're not in it by yourself. We're all in it together. It's a family movement.
And can you talk about your contact information in case anyone is interested in becoming a foster family?
Yes, we're located here in Macon at 400 Northside Crossing. It's over in Northside area of Macon, Bill area.
Okay, is the best thing to stop by? Do you have a website or a phone number you'd rather people call?
Yes, we the phone number is 478-765-3673, and the address, you can come. You're welcome to come.
They will welcome you with open arms.
They're definitely in there first by 9 every morning, and they stay late for whatever reason. And if they come into a Safe Haven, like she said, we're very family oriented. It's not a time that I don't need them, that I can pick up the phone and call Ms. Cheatham directly. You know, most times you can't reach the owners and stuff, but it's not like I can call her at home. I can pull up to her house, whatever need. I've had her to come to my house at a drop of a dime and come over to whatever I need to sit. So it's very family oriented. If you want someone to help walk you through the process, I welcome them to come to Safe Haven, because it's definitely a great agency to foster through, and we're all there for each other. So it's an amazing place.
It's some important work that you're doing that again, not only changes the lives of these kids, but talk again very quickly about the impact on you as a foster parent.
It changed my life forever. I mean, it gave me more patience, more understanding. You know, little things doesn't bother me when I see it. I step back because I realize that, you know, this is this kid and the trauma that they've been through and whatnot. So it gave me a lot of patience and understanding, just to open my eyes to a lot of things. So.
And again, you said the Possum Trot movie really, you know, gave a great example of what it's like to be a foster parent for those who might be interested.
Yes, it's dead on, from the connection that you make with the kids, the challenges, the love they receive from the children, and at the end where they show the children who was, you know, in their adult life that were actually in the movie. That it's amazing. It really is. I have a relationship with kids that have been through. Everyone calls me. I am in touch with every single child that I foster.
That is incredible, and thank you both for the work that you do, you know, through helping these other foster families and through helping these children as well. We thank you for being here with us today to talk about all of that important work.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Appreciate it.
And thank you so much for joining us for Central Georgia Focus.